Belen turned the key. The gears started to move. A 25 centimeters thick iron door was opened. Inside was the center of a villa. Through some mirrors, people could observe what happened outside. Even though there were firecrackers inside, people outside could not hear anything. Even the owner didn't know about its existence. But Belen discovered. To challenge her boyfriend Adrian, Belen decided to shoot a video. Her expression became serious. She said that she wanted to break up with him. After packing up her luggage, she entered the interior room. The first day when Adrian came back, seeing Adrian's sad attitude, Belen was very pleased. So, she decided to stop the challenge. Her boyfriend is always wholeheartedly for her. Opening the bag, Belen wanted to give Adrian a surprise. But she couldn't find the key. She remembered that she dropped it outside. She asked her boyfriend for help. But no matter how Belen screamed, Adrian couldn't hear it outside either. He was standing there sadly. Belen tried to make a phone call, but there was no signal. She uses another key to open it, but it's useless. Belen grabbed a chair, frantically hitting the glass door. It's useless too, the mirror is 2 centimeters thick. Belen basically can't scratch it, let alone smash it. In the evening, watching Adrian miserably sitting on the bed, his mouth kept making a voice saying, "I love you." Belen found out that she had just done an extremely stupid act. The next day, Adrian turned to the police. But since Belen filmed the clip, the police couldn't help him. Belen in the room finds a uniform and a diary. A general used to live here. Wanting to free herself, Belen began to follow the prison escape in the movie. Use a knife to dig holes in the wall. Fortunately, there is also a bit of obsolete food and a polluted water source. Although it is possible to maintain life, if the time is prolonged, the body can hardly bear it. Seeing her boyfriend hurt Belen is so sad, but she can't do anything. Belen kicked the water pipe with force and found the water tank outside moving. At that time Adrian was also outside and started washing his face. Belen grabbed an iron rod and did not stop hitting the water pipe. The water shook more and more. Belen kept calling for help, but Adrian still couldn't hear anything. Because it was stormy heavily. It stayed like that for 10 minutes until Adrian left. She must continue digging the hole. It's 1 month. The spoon has also worn out, but the result was not good. Lights turn on and off. It is true that the reality is not as simple as in movies. Belen turns the generator, accidentally ruining it. 2 months later, one fine day, Adrian led a strange girl to her room. Belen just helplessly watched the two of them happily together. She was extremely angry. Indignation tears just kept falling. She did not expect that it was this stupid ordeal that would rob her boyfriend. Now she must witness her boyfriend having sex with another girl. She can do nothing. The next day, facing Fabianache was not as good as Belen. Even arbitrarily using her belongings, Belen poured all her anger into the water bath. Fabiana seemed to hear her cries for help. Belen tried to shout, but Fabiana continued to brush her teeth. Obviously she heard nothing. Now only Belen was left alone. The night Kamesh slumped down on a corner of the house, began to cry loudly. The signaling speaker continued transmitting the happy sound of the two people. Just like that, Belen just continued to dig the wall. Then encounter a layer of reinforcement. Helplessness heightens even more. In this room, the only thing Belen has control over is this water valve. After repeatedly burning Fabiana, Belen secretly chuckled. But it was useless. Greater than every day, she had to see Fabiana happily. A few moments later, Fabiana suddenly discovered the key to the room. Belen deeply hoped that Fabiana would be curious and opened the door to the room. Any doubt, Fabiana thought it was a necklace and hung around her neck. This made Belen extremely angry. The next morning, Belen discovered Fabiana was flushing outside. She took the steel pipe and smashed it into the water pipe. Fabiana saw the water vibrating. On the contrary, frightened, quickly dodge away. Fabiana suddenly felt something. She says to start, Belen will break the water pipe. Saying stop, Belen will stop too. Fabiana assumed that her dead father came to visit her. But no, when she thought of him, the water stopped moving. Fabiana instinctively thought of Belen. At this point, Belen hit even harder. Fabiana finally figured it out. She asked again if Belen was dead. When Belen heard that there was no sound, Fabiana continued to ask if Belen was stuck. As a result, the water surface was violently moved. Fabiana wanted to take off the glasses but couldn't. Discovered the dog was constantly digging the wall. Fabiana began to carefully examine. Opening the cupboards, he indeed discovered the location of the lock. Fabiana took the key from her neck. As she was about to unlock, she suddenly stopped her hand. Fabiana was thinking something. She turned towards the tub, silently looking back at herself in the mirror. At the same time, flush the tub completely. After Adrian's return, Fabiana ran over to kiss him, silently looking toward the glass. She seemed to guess Belen's mood right now. Belen's feelings at the moment are hard to describe. Belen understood that Fabiana could hardly let go of Adrian. The next day, Fabiana took away the concealed locker. She didn't want anyone to find Belen stuck inside, since she knew clearly if Belen got out. A few moments later, Fabiana is curious whether Belen is alive or dead. She stands at the mirror saying a few words, but there's no answered. Fabiana took advantage of the steam, leaving a word on the glass. But there's no answer too. Fabiana opened the door with the key and went inside. So smelly. The space is extremely narrow, probably only a few meters. Fabiana moved closer to verify that Belen was dead. Suddenly Belen opened her eyes wide. She knocked Fabiana out, took the key, and stepped out. At the same time locked the iron door. Belen looked at her pathetic face in the mirror. Go to the living room, watch the sun for a long time she hadn't seen. She knew well that this house was not where she belonged. At that moment, Adrian also returned home. The dog barked relentlessly, leading him up to the bedroom. He discovers an old set of keys. Above the mirror is a photo taken with Belen. Made Adrian dumbfounded for a moment. Fabiana is missing, and so is Belen. Is there any problem with the house? At that time Belen was on a beach, feeling like she was revived. Her time in the cellar made her understand a lot of things. The movie is over. One thing is for sure, Belen is an honest girl. After a while, she will definitely return to save Fabiana. This film helps us to understand a moral. Most women who have too much spare time will find things to do. If you let women have too much free time, then their imagination will far surpass men many times. Goodbye and see you next time.